What's going on, everybody? I'm Jonah Hirschwerk from Hofstra University, currently a sophomore at Portage, and I've been taking classes at Hofstra, summer classes at Hofstra University for sports journalism broadcasting. One of the people who has been a huge influence for me is Keith Irizarry, who I have the pleasure of sitting down with today. Keith's new show, Calling the Shots with Keith Irizarry, airs on NBC Radio this Monday. Keith, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Being a co-host for the Manic Show, Understand with Mark Malone, and the other pregame show, the CBS Fantasy Football program, now for several years, you now have the opportunity to have your own show, which is being recorded on a major network and being recorded in a studio that is named after you. What's it been like these first couple of days hearing the announcement and leading up to the show?
Wow, there's a lot of things there. Okay, so first I will say that being in a studio of my own has always been cool, whether I'm a sidekick, a co-host, or hosting shows. Everything that I've done here at Hofstra University, whether it was me as a student back in the early 2000s, and now me as an instructor, a teacher, it's been awesome, and the fact that I've been acknowledged by Hofstra University with the studio has been amazing. Second part, I think that me being a sidekick for 2 years and me doing lots of hosting at other stations, I did host at ESPN Radio, Yahoo Sports Radio, co-hosted over there. It's been years in the making. When I finally heard the show open, Calling the Shots with Keith Irizarry, and it's got the music and everything, I told my wife, and she said the same thing. I actually got butterflies in my stomach because it's something I've dreamed about. Like, listen, I went to college, wasn't sure what I was going to do. But once I decided on this, I wanted to be on TV, I wanted to be on radio. I'm now a national sports talk radio host and a national television host. Kind of cool.
You can lead me to my next question about growing up as a kid. Was this always your dream? Was that one specific moment that sparked your passion for sports broadcasting?
Yeah, it wasn't. This was not my dream job. I was an athlete. I played every sport, so I wanted to play shortstop for the Yankees. That was not going to happen. I was a bit of, and I say this with total affection, okay, and it's a nice way of saying this. I was a stat geek. That's what I was. You probably don't read newspapers anymore, but I woke up on Sunday mornings and I would read cover to cover the sports section, and my dad would quiz me on stats. Like, I love that stuff. But when I came to Hofstra University, I've told the story a few times, but when I came here, I took a speech class because you had to take speech to become a lawyer. I was good at it. And at the time, the professor was also the dean of communications. She brought me down to WRHU, Radio Hofstra University. I met a few people, I put an application in, went through the interview process, went through the training course. That summer I changed my major.
Being one of the directors for the Hofstra Sports Journalism and Broadcasting program here for several years now, what's it been like for you to teach students about your field at your former school?
I am a firm believer of giving back. And that is one of the major reasons why when Mike Chesina had approached me and Colleen Slattery had approached me about this position, I was all in. And they allowed me to put my imprint on this program that Ed Ingles had started and had done a fantastic job, and I felt like we could take it to the next level. We went from 2 weeks of summer courses to now 10 and a half to 11 months out of the year. We teach more than 200 students per year. We've seen kids go on to Syracuse, Fordham, South Carolina, Penn State, Ithaca, and a boatload of students come here to Hofstra University. So it's been so gratifying. Honestly, someone like you, you've been here for 4 or 5 years. You were this little nothing and this like adorable little kid, and now you are like a man and you're a broadcaster and you're going to do amazing things in this field. Like, for me, as I'm a dad also, like, it's so cool to see all of you guys realize your dreams also.
Growing up, who was that one broadcaster that you looked up to and said, oh, you see that person, that's going to be me someday?
I won't say growing up, again, because I want to go back. I wasn't planning on this career. But I would say that once I decided this is what I wanted to do, I like the excitement of Gus Johnson. I think some of his big calls have been, astronomical. But Mike Breen is my guy. And through this field, I've become friends with him, which is like so stinking cool that, I can text Mike Breen. He is the preeminent NBA voice. He comes and speaks at our camps during the summer, and he is such a genuinely nice guy and ridiculously good at his job. So I would say Mike Breen.
So from hockey in the KHL to basketball in China, the ACC, the AAC, and the show on CBS, you have a very widespread styles of talent. How has having this diversity in your skills been influential for you in your career?
Well, I would say that I think that everyone should try to do as much as possible. I think that, especially early on in your career, if someone's asking you to be a camera person, do it. Someone wants you to edit, do it. They want you to write, do it. Get on camera. You have to understand at the beginning you're not going to be making a boatload of money. It just doesn't happen. It's not the way it goes. Unless you're really, really lucky. I think it's important to have your hand in a lot of different pots and be someone that everyone can count on. When you go for a job, whether it's the producer you're speaking with or whomever it is, they're going to say, well, I can count on insert person. And I've always wanted it to be I can count on Keith.
So how do you go about preparing for different styles of shows? Like, you're not prepping for a radio show the same way you would for an appearance on live television, would you?
You know what? I do think that you prepare similarly. The more you are on the air, the more your life is preparation. When you're doing a big radio show, you will be, let's say tonight, I'll go home and I'll hang out with my wife for a little bit, and then when she goes to sleep, I'll watch sports, and I will continue to pay attention to what's going on. And when I'm doing a weekly television show like that other pregame show on CBS Sports Network, that's my fantasy football season. And I am so focused on fantasy football, I'm studying all those stats, and to be honest, that's fun. That reminds me of an old kid that was the stat geek. It's awesome.
So, Keith, 2.9 seconds left in the Section 1 Class AA boys championship basketball game. Mount Vernon's up by 2. Clock ticks all the way down, but Khalil Edney seems to hit this miracle shot from 55 feet out, gives New Rochelle the victory. Take me through this magical moment as you were calling it live.
I literally just got chills. So I will say that every time you go to a live play-by-play game, you never know what you're going to get. And we prepare like crazy with these charts in front of us, with all these, oodles of notes, and it could be a blowout, or it could be like that, where with 0.1 seconds left, it's this miracle shot. And, that one went viral. So for me, it was March 3rd, 2013, and I was kind of on the precipice of doing some bigger things. Within 2 days, I had every major sports agency reaching out to me and wanting to represent me. Right place, right time. Got lucky that I didn't, mess up the call. The call was good. It went viral. It was on ESPN Top 50. It was up for an ESPY. And the actual call, the truth is, I made the call, and when we went to commercial break because they were trying to figure some stuff out, I looked at my color commentator, Kevin Devaney, and I said to him, was that good? And he goes, you mean did the basket count? I go, no, was the call good? And he goes, dude, that was awesome. Because at the time, I didn't remember what I said. It was passion, and, I know one of the lines I said was goodness, and people liked it, so.
Going back to calling the shots, what are your goals for the show, and what direction are you planning on taking this opportunity?
Man, I want to have fun. Sports talk radio is the definition of if you grew up a sports fan, what did you do? When you're young like you go to Applebee's and you're having half-price apps, and you and your buddies are sitting around and you're arguing about, is LeBron better than Kevin Durant, or is Tom Brady the greatest of all time, or are the Patriots cheaters? Jimmy Garoppolo, is he the next amazing quarterback? Connor McDavid, is he going to be the next Wayne Gretzky or not? Those are the things that you do, right? And that's kind of what I want to do on my show. I just want to have fun and talk sports and, have the callers call in and, tweet us and all that kind of stuff. I'm not an angry person. So if you're tuning in to hear like a curmudgeonly human being that's going to yell at you, that's not really me. It never has been. I'm a happy person in general. So I think that's important to not put on a persona. Calling the shots, to be totally fair, my wife actually came up with the name. We were kicking around some ideas, and I said something about, I said the word the shots or something like that, and she's like, what about calling the shots? And I'm like, oh my God, I love that. So I wrote it down, and I had that, as a potential show name. And then when I was officially offered the show, I pitched it, and they said yes.
Keith, thank you so much for talking with me. I can't wait to listen. You just tell everybody how and when to tune in.
Sure, yeah. So Monday through Friday on NBC Sports Radio, Sirius XM, that's channel 205, NBCSportsRadio.com, the mobile app as well. We're on 400 local affiliates, so lots of ways to listen. It's from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you want to call in, 855-3234-NBC, 855-323-4622. You can tweet the show, Calling Shots NBC, or myself, Keith Irizarry, KeithIrizarry. We're also on Facebook as well, so Calling Shots NBC on Facebook.
Calling the Shots with Keith Irizarry on NBC Radio. Keith, congrats and good luck with this wonderful opportunity.
My man, thank you.
Once again from Hofstra University, with Keith Irizarry, I'm Jonah Hirschwerk.